Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Young working out of the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Let's go.
To throw again. Young into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Back to it after the pick 6. Young, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
52 by 52. They can't hang with us.
To try again after the sack. Young. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Young. Going to throw right side here, complete. Well, they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. And from the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. We're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
15 yards on the play, 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Taylor. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing. Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Young on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
I can't believe they even let you play. Switch. 36.
Here's Young from the shotgun. Looking in zone for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Check nickel.
On 4th down, they snap it to Young. Looking deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check it back. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
And to give this time to the tailback. And to give him 4 yards there, it'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Get in the weight room. Check. Lucky. Switch. Quick dash. Come.
On 2nd down, McFarland. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ready. 58 to Mike. I'm scared. Check 99. Check 91. Check 31. Ready. 58, boys. 58.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
On second down now, McFarland. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
58, right over there.
Back to throw. West. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Flush to it, and he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Young. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
58, boy, 58, 58, Mike. On the ball. And 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike. Hey, I'm coming.
2nd and 6. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Powers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you don't
want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've got nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Taylor, y'all bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a 1st down here. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. It'll be Young again. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already. And they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Young to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, it's Young. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
On 3rd down, West. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, you know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's loose. The ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry, 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Here I come again. Here I come.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 8-yard line.
Watch twist. Watch twist. Safe. Yeah.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. They go play action. Young. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game. And he's got a 1st down. The play fake. Now Young. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On 1st and 10, Young. Jones has it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Young to throw it. Complete to Jones. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st.
It's 4th down.
Now Young on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down. Check safety. Match box. Right. Bravo. 52. Zip it. It's coming this way. Here we go.
Operating from the gun. West. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Powers. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Here we go. Set. 22. Jet. Bomber. 22. Jet. Bomber. Put it right.
On 3rd down. McFarland. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Go 58 to the mic. Let's get this one. Let's go. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
They'll try and throw for it here. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Shift. He's coming.
Now a give right side. McFarland, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7.
58 is Mike. Watch the out. And 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike. Let's go, Heavy. Go. What you got, man?
Looking to throw. West is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 3rd down, McFarland. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Yeah, he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Now, the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
From the gun, West. Yeah, quick throw here, that's complete. Now a loose football, the ball comes out. It's going the other way.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check three. 20.
On 2nd down, McFarland trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Cardinals on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. West to the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? It's rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 4th down, Young. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous. Check on.
On 1st down, McFarland. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call.
Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. I got you, son. I got you, son. Cheer up.
Operating from the gun, West. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Lorenzo Carter, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
And he loses the football the 2nd time. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
To throw on 3rd down, West. It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Young. Buying time to his left. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 22. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Come to my world, okay? Spell. Come to my world. Back, back, back.
They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes, Coach, say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through